afternoon and welcome back to our matside studio here at the Nippon Budokan. It's day 5 of the World Judo Championships. I'm joined by Anthony Corelli, Loretta Kusat, door if she stops laughing, and Neil Adams. And just before we get underway, if you're thinking of playing a lottery tonight, if you were going to pick number 1, I'd bet against it. Don't do it. Number 1 is not a lucky number for today. Maybe Loretta Kusat will tell us why.
Yes, because the number 1 seed, Harari, came out. She lost out to Timo in the 3rd round, which was a massive big shock, wasn't it? And which we have put that, we never even mentioned Timo at the beginning of the day, did we? We didn't even put her down as being a contender. And here you find her in the semi-final against Pino.
Although I do have a list at home, and Barbara Timo is on my list. I will show it to you tomorrow.
Oh, now you tell us that. You're telling lies. So, as well as being a bad singer, you're telling lies. But no, it was really interesting. It has really... It's upset the whole odds here today, hasn't it? And but Japan has still got one chance in the men to get on that podium, but there's still a couple of hurdles, and it's going to be a tough one for them. But 70 kilos really did have a bit of a shake-up, didn't it? Where you had a couple that we'd mentioned, like Gemma Howell, who'd won two Grand Prix back-to-back just recently. They'd been looking on form, went out first fight. That was a major surprise for me. But the one that has been consistent and most probably feels like she has got the lucky lottery ticket is Gahi. She has definitely been working her way through quite nicely. She's had a couple of challenges, but not enough that's going to really upset the odds of her getting into that final, I don't think. But now Conway, she started off very shaky. Quite in a couple of matches, you just thought she's thrown away some valuable points. She was done Wazari twice, and also got it all held down and had to get out. And now but she's picked herself up in that quarterfinal stage with Bernholm. Bernholm it was, from Sweden. She was good there. She sharpened up. I think the confidence, she got over that last hurdle into the quarterfinal stage, and then she took the pressure off herself, and we're now starting to see the Conway that we would expect. And I'm hoping that this will be a real good battle between them. It'll be interesting, but I couldn't really call it on today, other than Gahi has been most probably looking sharper, but Conway, she's got that experience. She's an Olympic bronze medalist. She can dig in deep when she wants to. She's a very strong athlete. So we've just got to wait and see.
Okay, Anthony Corelli, anyone caught your eye in the under 70 kilo category? Remember, your wife is watching.
Yeah, actually, it was Sally Conway. There's something at the end there. Just the way she stands, she looks confident. Something about her posture. I think it's going to be her day.
Okay, Neil Adams, same thing for you. Nikki's watching.
I know she is. Well, I think Gahi, for me, has always looked like the fighter that is going to win a big one. And I've said that several times, and then she's gone for Ippon in some of the big tournaments. I think that she'll be looking now that the main number 1 contender is out. I think that'll fill her with confidence, and I think she's got a hard job with Sally Conway in that semi-final. I think the winner of that semi-final is going to become world champion.
Yeah, I'm looking at the opposition on the other side, and not being disparaging to either Margot Pino or Barbara Timo. They are both there as, you know, a bit of a surprise, whereas you can't say that with Marie-Eve Gahi. She came in here as the number 2 seed anyway, and you can't say that with Sally Conway.
No, and I think that they'll get to the final, and one of them is going to be in the final of the World Championships, which will be absolutely remarkable, and a remarkable performance. And they will believe that they're going to become world champion. The way I feel about it, I just think, well, maybe they're going to get there. They'll have 2 chances of a medal from that semi-final. You know, if they lose, they've got another chance of fighting for 3rd place, and one of them's going to be a world silver or gold medalist. But I still think that either Gahi or Conway is going to become world champion.
Okay, we'll give you a rundown of the lineup for the contests to come in the final block. The first of the repechage contests will feature Sanne van Dijken of the Netherlands. She'll go up against Michaela Polaris of Austria. The second repechage contest will be Maria Perez of Puerto Rico, a world silver medalist herself. She'll go up against Anna Bernholm of Sweden. And then the two semi-finals, Barbara Timo of Portugal will face Margot Pino of France, and it'll be Marie-Yves Gahy of France to go up against Sally Conway. And just when we were saying, where are all the French? What's happened to all the French? You know, all of a sudden they march on. Right. The under 90 kilo categories, we'll go back to Loretta Cousat-Dor, given that we started with her talking about the number one seed, Arai Shizuda, going out, the world champion as well. The number one seed and world champion went out. That was Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain. Tell us about that.
Well, I'd like to, but I was actually on the other mat, so I didn't actually see the progression of...
No, good one. Who was it that was commentating on Nicolas Sherazadishvili when he went out? Okay, Neil, fill us in on that one.
Well, I did. The thing was, I think that it was a bit of a shock, obviously, and I think. Well, in fact, I think it was you that was commentating. But I was watching it just by the side of the mat, and I think that it was a shock. But he is sometimes, you know, what happens is when somebody gives the fight and takes the fight to him, he kind of half crumbles, and I think that that's what happened here, and it was the pressure that was put on him that actually went against him in the end.
Okay, Nicolas Sherazadishvili went out in, I think it was round 2 or 3?
3, I think.
Yeah, round 3. He had to be because he didn't get to the repechage. That was round 3 to Axel Clerget. Tell us a little bit about that, Anthony.
Yeah, you know, today's been the day of Newaza. Clerget looked super strong. He pinned a couple guys and he choked out Colton Brown. Nyman from Sweden, I pinned at least 3 people today. He just looks so dangerous. If you fall to the ground and he gets his hands on you, he's going to pin you. And it's I'm gonna pick him to win. Actually, Niemann from Sweden.
All right, we should tell you a little bit about Marcus Niemann because he's been around for quite a long time. He was European champion back in 2010 in Vienna. He took a break after the Olympic Games in Rio in 2016. We didn't see him again until this year. So he's been back for what, 8 months? He's in the semi-final of the World Championships.
And he seems to do that, doesn't he? He really is a big occasion man, you know. He kind of rises to the occasion. And I think that I fancy him to beat Mukai, even though it's going to be very difficult in front of his home crowd. And he's been throwing people today, Mukai. You know, he's not highly fancied for us, but he's been throwing people. But I really believe, Nyman, his groundwork, I mean, he's been punishing people for going down there, hasn't he?
Someone as great as Todd, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say legend, but, you know.
Yeah, and he was scratching to try and get away from him, you know, but Nyman just followed it down. Progressive Newaza yet again winning through, and I'm glad about that. But
sorry, I interrupted you about Mukai, and I think you wanted to go back on him, didn't you?
I was going to just say that Mukai, you know, has been throwing people. Technique has been winning through in both the Newaza and the Tachiwaza, and it's nice to see a balance. But for me, Vanta End is the one that's been coming from different directions, you know, because I was saying that he can do a technique. It doesn't look as if he's going to score. He'll change direction somewhere, he'll make a readjustment and he'll score from it. And I had him down as one of my main go-tos, you know, for a really major medal. So I think the winner, Mayadov, world champion 2017, he surprised everybody there. He's in his second world semi-final. I think the winner's going to come from the semi-final of Vanta End and Mayadov.
Okay, that's a nice call there. I'm going to go through the lineup for the final block. Axel Clerget of France will face Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan. Tot Christian of Hungary will go up against Ivan Felipe Silva Morales. The two semi-finals, Noel Vanta End of the Netherlands will face Nemanja Majdov of Serbia, and it'll be Marcus Niemann of Sweden to go up against Mukai Shoichiro of Japan. We'll be back at 7 o'clock. We got a break of 2 hours and 5 minutes. Do what you like during that time. We're going to go off and have some sushi.